Nightcap, the show where Matt figures out what's wrong with his mic.
Mm-hmm. And I'm Brian, your tech support for tonight.
And here's the deal. From this morning, it sounded normal, and I think I sound normal now.
Yeah, it sounds the same as it did this morning, to be honest.
Yeah, so I don't know what the deal is. So maybe, I mean, I know we just went live and no one even knows about this, but maybe someone will tell me, Matt, your mic screwed up, or maybe they won't. I don't know, but we do have something to talk about.
We do.
Brian and I had a conversation just what was it, yesterday, 2 days ago?
Yeah, it was like what, two or 3 days ago. Well, we've talked a lot this week, so I think it was 2 days ago though. And
okay, see, Ryan says the mic is good. So good. Okay, so that's what I was wondering, because for some reason it sounded good during our live stream. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have anyone in the comments say. You think someone in the comments would have said something?
Yeah.
Is it
well, it wouldn't be the upload settings, because it would do it to everybody. It would be uniform across the whole audio.
That's weird. True. That's true. All right. So I don't know. That's weird.
Well, you're blowing a lot of people's minds with this Nightcap one.
Oh boy, Nightcap. Well, some people need to check their email. That's all I gotta say. Anyway, so we were talking about how I discovered that slowly, because my brain is small, how we discovered that the expanded universe was, well, I discovered that the expanded universe was connected. Mm-hmm. And this was a growing thing. So I'm going to start with that story. And if others,
it was a great story. So yeah, I think everybody should hear that one.
Yeah. And that's what you said. And I was like, you know what? I've never talked about this. So this is something to talk about while I'm testing out the mic, which obviously sounds good. Anyway, so I was reading the Timothy Zahn trilogy. I really loved it. And I didn't want to read anything that wasn't connected to that trilogy. Right. And back then, having books connect to each other, was unheard of, because I used to read Star Trek books. I think I've said this before. And the thing that ticked me off about Star Trek books was they were all different and they contradicted each other. Because I remember my dad's secretary used to give me Star Trek books to read, because I was becoming a Star Trek fan. I'd watch Star Trek at her house and she'd give me a book and I'd read it. And I was like, okay, great. Give me the next one. Well, one of the books contradicted something from a previous novel. And I went, hey, this book says this, but this book says this. She went, oh, well, yeah, they just kind of made it up as they went along. And so no one really, I was like, well, then what's the point of reading it? And so I just stopped reading the book she was giving me. Oh, look at this. Speaking of someone reading Timothy Zahn right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
Look.
Hello.
I'm a little terrified. Be gentle.
I'm 20 hours without sleep, and Brian's harmless, so
yeah, well,
he has nothing to worry about. Well, this is actually my first time to talk to Mary.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, come to think of it, yeah. For all of our sort of ticky-tacks back and forth in chat and whatnot, this is
the only thing better than having just Mary on here is also having Ryan.
You're gonna get me into all sorts of trouble now.
Now it's
that is true. Well, especially when I tell you I'm here to offer perks. That'll really get you in trouble, Brian.
Oh shoot! Now I'm gonna have to go and edit the fundraiser page. Darn.
Well, hold on. I see them. This is one perk here, and that's the other perk there. Look at Muscle Man. Yeah. Muscle Man. I need more of those shirts. I need the sleeveless tees. I need to start rocking those.
For good reason. I've spent way too much time behind the computer the last 3 months.
I'm telling you.
It's a rough life, but I try to make time for it. But yeah. But how's it going, guys? And hey, Mary, nice to see you.
Hi, how are you, Ryan?
I'm doing fantastic. My studio's a little different. I've been moving stuff around today. It's not fully done. I'm trying to fill some.
I was just looking at that now. So I watched that movie, let's see, the one you put up on Geeks and Gamers just a little bit ago, and I was like, the background looks different from that. So you must have been doing some serious moving. There's more than 4 books back there.
Yes, exactly. Well, I wanted to make sure everybody knew I was an EU fan, so I got to put more books back there. No, a spare room just opened up in my house, basically, and I was able to clean it all out. So now I've got my own little spot, and it's good. I got a little more room for activities.
Nice.
But the Mara Jade video went up, and I got a good plug for Twin Suns Foundation at the end of it.
Yeah, I saw that. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. My pleasure. I hope it drives some traffic to the site and everything, and and we can just get this thing funded and not even have to worry about the last month or so of it.
That's right. That's right. Well, Callum has agreed to do the calendar, so that's gonna bring in tons of money.
$400 perk right there.
I listened to that whole thing, and how did you not use the term calendar? How did that not come up through that entire live stream?
There we go. I can now put it in the official fundraiser text.
Wow.
I need to know where to go to get this.
I'm telling you. All right, so I can finish my story, but I have questions for all the guests here. But I'll try to speed it up a little bit. This is basically a test on the mic, and I'm glad it's working. So anyway, after that, I was just looking at books that were connected to Timothy Zahn's trilogy, and every time I'd grab a book, I'd look on the insert on on the cover. What's that called? 20 Hours Without Sleep, folks. What is it? Is it called insert? Okay, I was going to call it insert, but I didn't know. Anyway, on the flap, the inside flap or whatever, on there, I looked at it and I was like, does this say anything about Timothy Zahn's trilogy? And it would. And I'd say, oh, okay, good. It's connected. And when my dad would take us to Portland/Seattle every year, and when we were getting on the plane back, he'd always take us to the bookstore. We'd pick out a book and read it on the plane. This is back before cell phones. And so we went to the bookstore, and he was like, okay, y'all pick out a book. And I'm looking around, and I see Kevin J. Anderson's Jedi Academy trilogy. I'm like, oh, wow, this is interesting. But does it connect? Right. And, of course, it does. And there's 3 books because I didn't know these books were coming out. And I was like, okay, well, Dad, can I get 3? He went, 3? You're not going to be able to read them all. I was like, I know. I said, it's just, this is a trilogy. I really like Star Wars. I really like these other books. This book connects to the other ones. He went, because see, again, I didn't know that every book connected back then. And so he said, okay, sure. Well, I must have fallen asleep on the plane. I didn't read a single one of those books. And then while waiting in line, Bruce from the podcast, Princess of the Universe.
Shameless plug.
There you go. It's my channel. What are you talking about? Anyway, and so Bruce, this is when we kind of first met, and I'll try to tell the story just like I told it to Brian here. I was telling his roommate, because I didn't really know Bruce back then, and I was telling his roommate that, yeah, I just got these books, these Star Wars books from Kevin J. Anderson called the Jedi Academy trilogy, and I'm super excited to try them out and read them. And then Bruce turned around and looked at me, he's like, you read the books? And I was like, yeah. He went, you may want to read the Dark Empire comic book before that. And I'm like, I knew what Dark Empire was because I seen it at the comic book store, but I didn't get it because it didn't say anything about Thrawn or the Timothy Zahn book, so I didn't get it. And I said, wait, is that connected too? He went, yeah, it takes place before the Jedi Academy trilogy. And I think there was like an 80s rock ballad playing at that point when me and Bruce locked eyes. Not really sure what it was, but I'm sure Mary can sing it. Don't know, folks. You got to check out Marioki. I just experienced my first Marioki. That girl can sing.
That's true. She can.
Yes, very well.
I have to go on there 2 weeks from today, so I'm feeling the pressure after all the performances I saw tonight.
You need to.
I know.
A Mary Can idol. That's what you're going on there.
There we go.
Superstar right there. She really did. You really do have a good voice. Anyway, so there was
weird that I want to punch somebody now. Like, shut up.
So I gotta go on
camera.
But anyway, he told me this. It's like, I gotta go get the comic books now. And so I got the comic books, read them, loved them, and then read Kevin J. Anderson's trilogy and saw that it connected to the comic books. And then like a piece of my brain was like leaking out of my ear at this point. I was like, wait a minute, does it all connect? And that's when the brain started working. I was like, it does.
Doing like the yarn, the strings across the like little pins and stuff or whatever.
It was like the end of Primal Fear when I'd left the jail cell open and walked away and realized the guy was faking the whole time. I don't know. That's a random.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, that's fine. You've never seen Primal Fear?
Spoiler alert.
No,
I just spoiled everything.
I don't do the whole man rah 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 stuff. No, I'm a girl.
Okay, Primal Fear's a movie with Edward Norton. And
it sounds like a man movie, Primal.
Okay, well, I see Primal Fear.
That's what I like to call a dick flick. Oh, sorry, am I allowed to say that? Sorry, I'm not allowed to say that.
This is my channel.
He's so nice to invite you on, and you're just so vulgar immediately.
I'm so sorry.
Those Fandom Menace people, oh my gosh.
You can't take these guys anywhere.
See, this is why you don't do these things live, I guess.
So sorry.
Pre-recorded, we usually have a Jawa go, Houdini, in the middle.
Sorry.
No, you just made my friend Wes very happy. Wes is going to call me right now saying, she can say it, why can't I? Oh, come on, Wes.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right. If people don't know what I'm talking about, there's a funny episode where my buddy Wes, he cusses a lot. Not just because that's how he talks. And so we're talking. He's like, well, don't worry. He said, don't worry, I'm not going to cuss. I was like, sure. And so he's cussing the whole time. He really thought he was not cussing. And then when he's done, he's like, see, I told you I could do it. I said, do what? He went, make it clean. I went, Wes, you cussed through the whole thing. He went, no, I didn't. I said, yes, you did. Did you not even realize? And so in it, I use Jawa Houdini every time he cusses. And then he texts me, he goes, that's pretty funny what you did. He said, I guess I did cuss that much. I said, yeah. So
a lot of extra work. I am so
Ben says, let's put $1 in the swear jar. I'm telling you. It's fine. It's fine. It's this is the nightcap. Now I'm going to have to call this Matt After Hours.
I promise it won't happen again.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You're fine. All right. So my first question is going to be to Mary because I actually talked to Brian about this after, was it this morning? Did we talk about Mary afterwards, or did we talk about her on the phone?
Do you want to hold off on me? I have fish in the oven, so I jumped on. I have fish in the oven.
Oh, go get your fish real quick.
Yeah, don't burn down the house. That'd be bad.
I'm actually a really good cook, so I'm like my internal timer went.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
Okay, go get your fish.
Ruining everything. Ugh.
No, that's fine.
Internal SEC didn't go off, unfortunately, for censorship there. But
I'm telling you, I can't wait to see cancel Matt anytime now.
So I could put it there now.
I'm telling you. Okay, so then it's to Ryan. My next question is Ryan. Where were you this morning? I'm totally kidding.
I totally forgot that your stream was going on in the morning. So when I woke up, I'm Pacific time, so I'm obviously a lot earlier than you. And I wake up, I check YouTube, and I see you're live, and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot. And I get on there, and you're like saying goodbye to everybody. I'm like, yeah. So I had to listen to it afterwards.
That's fine. It doesn't matter. It's just
that counts as catching it, right? That counts as catching it, right? He was there for like the last moments.
I got to like it before it officially went off air. So.
That counts. He's
good. Well, I hated it because then the comments started coming in. They're like, your mic's messed up. I was like, what? Because we didn't hear it on the live recording, and no one, if anyone was there this morning, did my mic sound like it does now on the recording? Because if so, I wish someone would have told me. And I just did an unlisted video and deleted it, and it was just me talking. And I was like, okay, now let's try it out. Well, I was like, well, it was just me. Maybe it happens when I have other people, in the chat. So I was going to try that. And so then I asked Brian if he could come.
Your mic was fine in the live stream.
Okay, yeah, my mic was fine in the live stream too. So that's weird that once it goes to rendering.
Yeah.
I hate that.
That is weird. It is like really obnoxiously.
I know it is obnoxious. I hate it. I kind of want to delete it, but I like what I had to say and everything. So
it doesn't ruin anything. It's fine.
Well, the thing was, I thought, you know what? If someone would have said something in the comments if I sound like that live.
Yeah, they for sure would have.
So that just confuses me. Okay, so it's when it renders or something happens to the mic, but just mine. Y'all sounded fine.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just when you get real loud.
Well, maybe. I'm trying to be calm. Of course, 20 hours without sleep.
Yeah, you're trying not to wake the kids and stuff and everything. So
About to be where they just got in, yeah. Oh, I just put one to bed. That was the other reason I got to test this out. Okay, so she's back. She's got her fish sticks.
Fish.
What kind of fish are you cooking? Hold on. Before you say, Brian, give me a guess. What kind of fish is Mary cooking?
I don't know. Let's go with salmon.
Okay, Ryan.
perch.
You guys
Okay. I'm gonna go flounders to Disney. Hold on, let me think. Tilapia.
are so embarrassed. You guys give me way too much credit. They're just fish nibbles.
This is
They're just little
what did you say?
little fish nibbles.
Nibbles. Okay.
I know what you thought he should.
I thought we were going all over again
No.
with this. Okay.
No,
I was
she
like,
was good
wow,
there.
she comes back with the 1-2.
This is definitely Matt on 20 hours of freaking being awake.
Sorry, not sorry. She comes in, takes this, and drops it. Okay.
I don't know what kind of fish this is. It was whatever was in the box my brother brought home. I haven't eaten since like 14 hours ago, so
Whoa.
Almost as long as Matt's been awake.
really hungry.
Yeah, now I know what it feels like to be Dylan. No, I don't. He's still asleep. That dude's still asleep, waking up that late. He told right before we went on the podcast this morning, folks. Dylan goes, "So I just finished my paper on whatever it was," and he goes, and then I looked at the clock and it was 5:00. He just kind of, I said, "So you haven't been asleep?" No. I was like, "Oh well, that's going to be very riveting." But then he was more active than he was.
I'm telling you, that's
years.
exactly how he is at Celebration. That is exactly how he is at Celebration. He must never sleep.
I'm telling you. All right, so Mary,
Yes.
here's the question. You've just started reading some of the expanded universe, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. You're reading Heir to the Empire, or are you on book 2 yet?
So it's the audiobook. I think it's the whole trilogy.
Oh, the audiobook. Okay. What do you think so far?
It's a lot of fun.
That's a lot of fun.
It feels right.
Feels right. I've actually had a friend of mine when the episode 7 came out. He watched it with his son. His son loved it, and he just felt like that does not feel like Star Wars to me. Mm-hmm. And then he found my channel because he was, I don't know, he just saw me, or maybe he had already subscribed. I don't know. But then that's when I was really talking about the expanded universe. He says, "Hey, so where can I start?" And I said, "Well, start Timothy Zahn's trilogy." That's usually where I say, if you don't have a preference, in the timeline.
The boring correct answer.
Well, yeah. Well. Anyway, but he read it and he said, "This feels more like the Star Wars from the original trilogy."
Mm.
And he said, "This feels like," and he said this. It feels like my Star Wars.
Yeah. There's the sort of interaction between, all of the original trilogy characters that it sort of hits right on the head. The dynamics of their relationship feel authentic. And even the introduction of Mara Jade to me is she still fits somehow, even though she's new and even though she's not exactly like, I know that she's beloved to so many other people. I'm well aware of that, but for me, she's sort of this new person, and yet surprisingly, she seems to. Now she's still not the nicest person right now.
Right. You're not seeing her at her best.
Well, I've watched Ryan's video. So.
I was gonna say, did you see Ryan's video? Then her whole character is spoiled for you.
Yeah, well, I was aware that they got married at some point.
Jeez, Ryan, thanks for the non-spoiler.
No.
Thanks for the non-spoiler warning.
Well, it's funny because we have there's like a whole group of people, quite a bit, that we're doing an expanded universe book club with right now on Twitter. Who, there's a core group of us YouTubers that are doing it, and then reading along with a bunch of people who have never read it before. And we kind of put a poll out there. People decided they want to start with the Thrawn trilogy. That's where we're going. And so a lot of people that watch that video are like, hey, I'm still reading the book. What the heck? Like, maybe a little bit of spoiler warning should have been necessary. But
well, to be fair to you, Ryan, I knew that prior to all of this. I knew prior to even getting into, the Heir to the Empire, just because the internet is a wonderful place, and I subscribe to like a bajillion Star Wars channels, and it comes up, right? So, and it was something spoiled for me a long time ago. At the time, I didn't really worry about it because it wasn't something that I had anticipating ever diving super deep into. I was, sort of all over the place on the whole geekdom spectrum, and so I had my fingers in a lot of different pies, and I just never expected it to be something that I got super into. But yeah, so that's not your fault, but she does fit very well.
What? Oh no, go ahead.
No, I'm just anticipating the future and the ride. I'm anticipating the experience. Knowing what's coming doesn't change my desire to get into it. If anything, it heightens it because I know that there's a journey to go on.
Yeah, I with one of the first videos, one of the early videos I made, I gave a spoiler, and someone goes, "Oh, you need to say spoilers, man." I was like, "This book's like over 20 years old." No, I'm not. But now I do. If I'm talking about the death of a character, I'll do a little spoiler warning. I put a question in the comments, and I said, besides Timothy Zahn's trilogy, what would you suggest people read first when getting into the expanded universe? Gungan Fighter says, I Jedi. Brian would agree with you.
You're just trying to get a rise out of me. That's my annual read.
But is that where you would start, though?
No,
I would not. But to be honest, that's a lot of people's number one book.
It's a great book, but I don't think I would start people there.
I Jedi? Does that?
I Jedi would not start there because it's a continuation. Is that right?
I would read Rogue Squadron before you do, and Jedi Academy.
Yeah. Anyway, someone said Courtier Princess Leia. That's nice. That's how Han and Leia got married.
That is one of the books we give away at Twin Sons donations, so I can see.
Yeah, that. I gave that one away at the school.
Yeah, that one's pretty popular.
The girls were excited to see that one. The boys were like, I was like, hey guys, this is really good. And then Darth Bane trilogy is what Soul Assassin says, and that's especially if you want to get into the Old Republic. And actually, that's what I say. I say, well, what do you like? And if they say, well, I played the Old Republic game or Knights of the Old Republic, I went, okay, you need to read Darth Bane. And that's what I say if that's the era they're interested in. My first book was Boba Fett Pursuit by Elizabeth Hand. Wow, that's interesting. Currently in Darth Revan. Okay, other ones I suggest sometimes if they want to is Truce of Bakura, just because it takes place right after Jedi. Yeah. But usually I say Timothy Zahn. So Mary, you're on the right track there. I think
that's the most common answer.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Truce. I really like Truce at Bakura, but there's some people that really dislike it. So when I heard that. Yeah, so when I try to get people into it, I do kind of the same thing. I tell them what I think their best chance is of continuing reading.
Right.
So I wouldn't say Dawn of the Jedi.
I would never say Dawn of the Jedi.
Right. So if, like you said, if it is prequel era or if it is Old Republic, Darth Bane trilogies, most people really enjoy it. So start there. Post Return of the Jedi, most people really enjoy Heir to the Empire, and it gives you a great feel for what you can expect going forward.
Okay, now let me ask you this, because I know what my answer is. They say I'm interested in the prequels. I love the prequels. What book do I read first? Brian, what book do they read first?
If they like the prequels, you would assume chronologically would it be Cloak of Deception? I don't know. That would be a tough one to start on.
I would say if you love the prequels, then you were really likely to love Revenge of the Sith. And I would say do the Dark Lord trilogy. So do Labyrinth of Evil, the novelization of Revenge of the Sith, and Dark Lord Rise of Darth Vader or whatever. And then if you really enjoy those, you're likely to go back and read more. But I think that is so perfectly done and provides so much depth and context to what Anakin was going through at the time and right after. So that's what I usually say.
I usually suggest, I don't suggest either of those. I usually suggest Darth Plagueis. Just because it's going back through episode 1, but from a different angle. No, those are both. There's no right answer here, guys. Those are fine answers, but that's the one I usually suggest.
This is a question we often ask internally too in Twin Suns.
Am I very
which
witness
books?
to like an EU argument? Aren't these infamous?
We never argue here in the EU community, Mary. We're all of one mind, one thought.
Mm-hmm.
And with someone from Geeks and Gamers pulling the strings.
I assumed there would be far more yelling.
Yeah, I'm on the bottom, unfortunately, right now, Brian. Or I could.
I know. I was gonna say, you're apparently your puppet strings aren't on me this time.
Yeah.
Okay, so change of topic completely because Mary doesn't know about the expanded universe as much, and that's fine. That's totally fine. All right, Mary, you go to Disney World again, take 2. All right, this time you get to take Ryan on one ride. What ride do you want to see him on at Disney World?
You know what I'd like to do?
What would you like to do? Go ahead.
I'd like to take him on that Toy Story ride where you have to like shoot all the targets.
Yeah, Midway Mania.
Yeah, and kick his butt.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You're really good at that.
That's a pipe dream there. That's how you know it's a fantasy.
Brilliant shot. I'm a brilliant shot. You have no idea what you're up against. You will lose. You'll lose terribly. You will be ashamed. You'll have to go home crying to your mother. And when that's over, you'll never come out into public again because they slaughtered you.
So
let's not do that. He's kind of been helpful for the EU movement thing. So
metaphorically speaking, of course.
This will be after the billboard and everything, Brian. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, have your way with him.
I'll let you guys use him to your heart's content, and then afterwards, I will embarrass him publicly.
So it's a funny story about that because there's a really similar game to that at Legoland, which I was just at recently with my family, where it's a Ninjago ride that's like that. It takes you through, and instead of shooting, you have to like karate chop these things, but you have to do it like this. There's a motion sensor, and I was talking so much crap because I was just going to obliterate, my 2 little children and my wife. And I was enjoying the fact that I was going to do it, but then we got it and mine was like malfunctioning. So I couldn't do anything. So my 3-year-old beat me on that ride along with everybody else. I finished last.
Hey, so Ryan, when someone beats me, I use that very same excuse. I'm sorry, Brian, go ahead.
How do you guys always end up with the broken ones, man?
So I was so mad that I had to go back. And do it again and just destroy everybody.
Wow.
Made everybody wait in line and do it again.
That's my kind of attitude.
He's leaning over his son. Suck it, Junior.
Exactly. He was like, my son was like so happy that he won, that he had beat everybody. He's like, "You came in last, Dad." I'm like, "We're going again." And we were walking away. He's like, "I can't believe you got that many points. How did you win?"
No, but to his credit, that's like the best kind of dad, right? They're like, "We're going again. Let's do this now." Like, at least there's an investment there, right? Like they're invested in the experience. They want to have fun with their kids, even if it's just to slaughter them and look like a complete jackhole. That's fine.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's
I was
awesome.
literally on that Toy Story ride last week. It was my sister and my parents' birthdays, so I was at Disneyland. Funnily enough, Ryan, when you were at Legoland,
really
at Disneyland. Yeah, I got my butt kicked on the whole Toy Story ride. My sisters both have annual passes, so they know the gimmicks that are behind it and what you have to do to get the most points. My sister had the highest score of the hour. I was like, what the heck?
I have had the highest score of the hour. I rock that game.
All right, man. You and I got to go head-to-head sometime.
So, but the thing is, my arm is so tired from pulling that little string. By the end of it, I can hardly move it. Yeah. I mean, I am rocking and rolling. I am the Terminator.
It shouldn't be your arm. It should be your wrist. Seriously, just like slip the string between your wrists and wave it back and forth like a fan.
There's a technique. No wonder why I'm failing at this thing.
No, I just have a nervous twitch, and I just go like this.
You just drink a bunch
It
of
just,
coffee right before.
yeah, you get really caffeinated. You're like, I am the great cornholios, and you take them all down. You got that one. But anyway, so yeah, okay, that is interesting. I actually put a comment on Mary's channel when she if you don't know, she didn't have the best of experiences with Disney World, and so I said there's one thing that would just bring a smile to her face, because it seems to bring a smile to everyone else's face when we go to Disney World. It's me riding the Tower of Terror. And have I shown you that picture, Brian?
I don't think I've seen this one.
Okay, well, you got to talk amongst yourselves, because I think it's in the other room, but I'm going to go get those pictures.
Am I allowed to elaborate on what you said in that comment?
Oh, no, please go ahead. I'm going to go grab the pictures, but go ahead. Elaborate.
I believe what he had mentioned was that I could indulge myself in watching or in seeing what it looked like for a grown man to soil himself on a ride, was what he had mentioned. I might go back for that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Even though she swore off Disney World, she's going to go back on her principles.
Well, and I believe you were going to
himself.
go as a pretty princess, Ryan. We were going to take you to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique and put you in the princess of your choice's attire. Put some sparkles in your hair. It's going to be glorious.
You know, it was really weird because I had just happened to be watching your video and I see a comment from Matt Wilkins. I'm like, oh, what is this? And I go look through it, and I think I hear an echo because Matt probably put his headphones right next to his microphone.
I think so.
But I see this thing, and it's like Matt going on this long explanation of bringing me with you guys to Disneyland and getting me dressed up and giving me a makeover. And I'm like, what did I walk into here?
Maybe it's best just to keep going, Ryan.
Which princess would you choose, Ryan?
It depends how I was feeling. If I was feeling a little frisky, probably Jasmine, show some midriff. If I was feeling classy, probably Belle, I think.
Belle's very classy.
Yeah.
Very classy. Is this it? Is this the moment?
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to show all of these to you, though. Hold on.
Oh, this is old school. This is old school Matt Wilkins, where he holds pictures up to his camera.
Just making sure that
happen that way too. It's guaranteed.
There's some I don't have permission on. All right. Hold on. Where are the okay. So we went on a cruise.
Before you do anything further, I know we're after hours, but keep it PG.
Oh no, it is definitely. Well, no, it's already PG-13.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Mary.
Yeah. She gets it from me when I upload those those Nightwing videos with the vulgar titles.
I'm telling you. Okay, so I am terrified of dolphins.
What?
I am. They're the smartest creatures in the sea. Sharks are even afraid of them. We should be afraid of them too. And I went on a dolphin encounter. Now, the missus loves her some dolphins. However, this guy right here was very uncomfortable during the dolphin encounter. So when they have a picture, old school Matt Wilkins, Ryan, you can look at my shoulders and look how tense I am in that photo.
Yeah,
I'm trying to smile, but my shoulders are high. I'm clenched together. I'm like, please don't kill me. Please don't kill me, dolphin. Please don't kill me.
Look, it's being sweet. It's giving her a kiss.
Yes, and I was terrified.
What the heck?
The next one was the Jurassic Park ride at Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. We were the only ones on this ride for some reason. And where the waterfall drops, the T-Rex, if you don't know, the T-Rex comes out.
Yeah, I remember.
Spoilers. The T-Rex comes out and then you hit the waterfall. Okay. The missus is reacting to the T-Rex and I am reacting to the drop. Right there, if you can see my face, I'm like, It's
that
the
looks
same.
similar to mine, actually, when I did that.
Actually, it's the same face as when I have constipation too. Obviously, so I'm glad we're doing this. This is going to be fun. All right, so The other one, and this is one that my sister went with us because my sister worked at Disney World for a short time, and they loved the picture so much, but I wouldn't let them get it. Well, I memorized the number code. And so when we went back, I pulled up the number code later on that day and printed it out for them because they thought it was funny. My first time on the Rock and Roller Coaster. Rock and Roller Coaster goes from 0 to 60 and like that. Okay. Now I'd seen it happen, and the first time I saw that roller coaster just zip through that dark tunnel, I buckled. My knees buckled. I was like, "Oh no, I didn't." I was like, no, I do not want to do this. Now, I'll be honest, I love the Rock and Roller Coaster now. I could ride it all day. But at first, I didn't know what was going on. So anyway, I want you to see my face. And this is, when it hits 60, that's when they take pictures. And if you ever see that cartoon where the guy, and let it focus a minute, where the guy's eyes are popping out of his head, there you go.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You sure you didn't stage that? Because that's perfect.
I mean, look how big those eyes are.
Everybody else looks like they're having so much fun. And then
everyone is having fun, and this guy's like, what the hey? I mean, that is... Yeah. I'm glad you think I'm glad that brings joy into people's hearts there.
Matt, did you know you can make your screen bigger to give everybody a better view of that?
Oh.
In StreamYard?
Okay. Technical support. If I click this.
There you go.
All right. Hold on. Let me get the pictures back.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry. Here we go.
Yeah, I gotta get my print screen
whatever.
key ready.
All right. So here's me all tensed up from the dolphin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Brave Matt Wilkins. Scared of a dolphin. Here is me on the Jurassic Park ride again. Get the glare out. Yeah, look at that guy. Oh, come on, get the glare out.
You look sad.
I look too. I'm like,
no.
It looks like a grimace that you're trying to morph into a smile, but failing miserably.
Oh yes, it's awful. It's awful. Okay. Yeah, and by the way, these Disney pictures are like $20 a piece, and everyone says it's money well spent when it's my face they see. So here you go. Here's big bug eyes. See if I can get this to focus in, and boom.
Print screen.
Look at those eyes.
I'm serious. You could definitely just digitally add those in. It'd be perfect. Your face.
I'm telling you, it's like I got 2 ping pong balls, sliced them in half, and put them over my eyeballs. They're so big.
You look like a kid from Saved by the Bell in that picture. Doesn't he?
Yeah, that's
been one of those kids on Facebook or something.
I can see it.
It's all right.
I'm telling you what, that's the face that they made when Mary talked to him in high school. Like, whoa, she's talking to me. Whoa.
I was homeschooled, and so I didn't talk to boys.
I was homeschooled.
Oh my God, you can be my homeschool buddy. Wasn't it awesome?
I was homeschooled. I was.
I've been looking for another one for so long. Someone else like me.
I'm telling you that is funny. But yeah. When we moved here to Louisiana, Dad didn't like any of the schools, and he said, "Okay, we're homeschooling you." We're like, "What does that mean?" So you're doing school at home. We're like, right on. And it was not that fun. In fact, there was one day we didn't do any schoolwork at all. We just played around. And when he came on and found that out, that was not a good day. I remember we had to do school all day on a Saturday one time. He was so mad at us.
My mother was also a tyrant. She, if we didn't get an A, we were forced to go back and do it again because clearly we didn't understand the material. So we would have to do it until we got at least an A-.
Well, to be honest, he wasn't a tyrant. We just didn't do our work, so we didn't do our schoolwork at all. So we kind of deserve that. Okay, so now here's the best one, and then I'm going to put all 4 back up there. All right, so on the Tower of Terror, if you don't know what this ride does, it is evil. It takes you up and shows you the entire park. What a wonderful view. And then sends you to your potential death as it drops you down a long elevator shaft.
There's a reason why I just don't do it anymore.
So let's see if I can get this picture, slide it to the side so you can see everyone's face here. Okay, first off, There's my sister. Oh, she's having a great time. Oh, there's the missus. She's having a great time. And then here's a man who is praying to Jesus that he doesn't see his face in the next 4 seconds because we are free falling at this point. And is that a deuce he is dropping in his pants? Maybe. I don't know. But that is a hard prayer. That is a man deep in prayer that thinks he is going to meet his maker any moment now. Again,
your wife for the dear Lord.
Everyone having fun, and then it's like, praise Jesus, hallelujah, and I am going to die. I am going to die. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. All right. So anyway,
to be fair, I don't think my face was any better.
All right. So anyway, the thing was, the lady prints out this picture, right? How do I get back to this? There we go. The lady prints out this picture, and then she looks at it, and she says, "You really didn't want to be." You really didn't want to be on this ride, did you? How did you guess?
Yeah, exactly.
I think you're so funny, don't you? I mean, I was not happy. That was my first time. Oh, was it my first time on the ride? No, it wasn't my first time on the ride either.
That's even worse.
But still, I can't stand that ride.
Why would I torture yourself with it? Why do you keep going back?
Do I have a choice in the matter? Sometimes, come on, we're going, because they always want a good picture opportunity. So there you go.
So, well, I mean, yeah, it's hard to blame them. I'd poke you into going to it too if I could get a picture like that.
Oh, you can get a picture like that. So I wasn't kidding when I said there'd be a change. You know, Brian may be at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, but I am changing pants. So that was, and that wasn't even the worst. The worst was when we went to Universal and we went on the Rip Rocket ride. Is that what it's called? Rip Rocket
I'm
ride.
not familiar with that one.
It's a bucketless seat. You're just sitting in a chair, free falling. You know, I mean, they got you strapped to the chair, but they let you pick some music because you got speakers on your head.
I just went on that. It was awesome.
What, is it called the Rip Rocket ride? No.
I'm not sure what it's called, but it's the one that goes like straight up first, and then
and then straight down.
And your head is back, and there's the music. And
yes.
Whatever. Yeah.
It's like any last request. What do you want to hear before you die? I was like, that's a weird question. Okay.
I went on that 3 times in a row. It was so much fun. I had
that was not fun. Anyway, but they record your face.
Yeah, they video you.
Because, you know, just in case you die for legal reasons. And so my face, as we're moving up, I am looking, because by the way, we had to switch because one mom and her kid were in the very front with no one in front of them. And she went, I'm sorry. I can't ride up front. Will someone switch with us? And I was saying this and went, what kind of idiot would switch with her? And I see my wife's hand is already up.
I love how
and we had to switch with her. And I am so, she loves the ride. Nothing scares her. When it comes to those rides, she can ride anything, anytime, anywhere. So we're going straight up, okay? Now, she's a little nervous. She's like, oh, wow, I don't really know what's going on here. I am, again, praying. Lord, I'm looking right up at you at heaven. And this may be my last thing I remember. Here we go. And then you can tell that the roller coaster is cresting because the sun in the video is shifting around us. The shadows are shifting around us. And then you're going straight down. You're falling straight down afterwards. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we both have our eyes closed. We open our eyes. 2 reactions. I look and I see the Grim Reaper going, bring it. And I went, like that. My wife sees the same image and goes, like, I'm gonna give him a hug. I was like, what are you doing? And the whole time, it's the funniest. And I regret not paying the $35 for the 30-second video because, to be honest, the whole time I am getting angrier and angrier because it corkscrews you around, it flips you around. I was going, and I'm going like that, and she's going, and the hair's getting in her face, and she's just going wild. And then after it's over, you see my face. I'm like, and I'm mad. I want to get off. I just tinkled myself. I want to get off. And then my wife's going, and she's shaking me and like, the best thing ever. And she was shocked that I didn't want to ride it again. She was shocked. Are you being serious? I don't know if you're being serious. That was a lot of fun. You didn't have fun?
Yeah.
The definition of fun between us is definitely different.
It is a lot of fun. You're doing a lot of, loop-de-loops. You've got the music going. You're sitting there jamming out to it. Like the video of me, obviously I didn't get it either, but is literally got me doing this number. The entire
Wow.
time.
Matt, now, listen, you have a built-in excuse now. Now you have a built-in excuse to stay off the ride with your kids and let your wife go.
That's right. I'm going to say, honey, I'm going to stay here and dream about what I'll do with the life insurance. You go ride. I'll just stay here with the kids. We did actually one time we went to Disney World. We've been a couple of times, but we went with another couple, and that was really fun because he loved the rides and she didn't. So we sat on the bench and talked about what we do with the life insurance money as they rode the rides. And I think we rode like some little kiddie rides together, but we wouldn't ride the big rides. And I made a deal with her. I said, look, let's make a deal. If I'm going to tell people that if they get you to ride the ride, then I'll ride the ride. She went, oh yeah, because I'm not going to ride any ride. Well, her husband convinced her to ride one of the rides. I can't remember which one it was. It wasn't too bad. It was the Harry Potter. It wasn't it was Dueling Dragons, but they called it Harry Potter Dueling Dragons. Where the two roller coasters barely miss each other.
Where was this?
You're dangling. I don't know. It was in the Harry Potter world. It used to be called Dueling Dragons, but then it became a Harry Potter Dueling Dragons. I don't know. Anyway, they convinced her to do it, and I did not want to do it, but I thought it was okay. And like I said, Rock and Roller Coaster I like. The only ride I don't like at Disney World is Tower of Terror. I can't stand that ride. So, Ryan, are you a roller coaster fanatic?
I'm not. I don't like them. They don't make me feel good afterwards. I got a headache. Like ever since I got out of high school and didn't have to do it to impress anybody, it's like I'm done. I'll look for any excuse to get out of it.
Now that Column's here, can you tell him what your idea was for the calendar, Ryan?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I don't know how no one talked about this before, but obviously, Callum, you have to do a calendar.
Calendar.
Exactly. Definitely has to be a calendar.
The 2020 calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm buying.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can see the confetti falling down for January and him doing this, like pushing the button. You got to open the door,
You see what Callum just said? He said Matt coupled with two fandom menacers to corrupt twin sons.
I'm telling you. Look at the corruption.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. You've only got one board member out of the three. You need to get a majority to corrupt us.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness!
I took down the king. Matt Wilkins, the king of the EU.
Oh boy!
Aren't I scary?
Oh wow! So let me ask you, Ryan. Do you collect Legos?
I used to. I used to when I was. Sorry, this video just started playing randomly. I used to, but I loved my X-Wing, my TIE Fighter, had a TIE Bomber, Interceptor. I never got the big Millennium Falcon because my parents didn't live in a mansion or something, or they actually fed me, so they couldn't afford that. But yeah, I loved collecting Legos when I was a kid. I had Anakin's Pod Racer that I used to make all these like ridiculous modifications, especially when I started reading in the Rogue Squadron books about uglies. I started just making all these different things. I tried to make was it the tie wing? What do they call it? The tie cockpit with the Y wing engine. The die wing. Yeah, that is the worst you could possibly imagine.
Well, Brian does Legos. In fact, the first time I went by his house, he gave me the address, but I didn't see it on the house. And so, you're always worried that your GPS got it wrong. And so I remember I was walking up to the house. I was like, man, I don't know if this is Brian or not. It's nighttime. It's late. I don't know. There's a Lego X-Wing. This is him. I see the Lego X-Wing outside the window. This is him. I'm going to knock on the door now.
There on top of the giant bookshelf with all this.
If it hadn't been for that, I probably would have called you one more time saying, can you walk outside? Because I was just a little nervous. I didn't know where I was.
My house. It is not hard.
And I have been in Kentucky before. I've been to Louisville.
Yes,
and
you said it correctly. Good job.
yes.
Louisville, yeah.
Well, because of baseball, the Louisville Slugger, which I didn't get to go to the factory for some reason. I didn't think about going to the factory,
Everywhere the factory.
but he took me to a few places, and oddly enough, let me see, how old was I? Mid-20s, young 20s, it was something like that. And he took me to the first. This is so weird. I ate Kentucky Fried Chicken for the first time there.
In Kentucky?
In Kentucky. I'd never eaten there. And I made the joke. I said, does Kentucky Fried Chicken taste better here? Because I've never had it. He went, you've never had Kentucky Fried Chicken? I said, no. He went, well, let's get some. I was like, okay, my first Kentucky. Even though there are KFCs everywhere where I grew up, we got, my mom and dad were Churches and Popeyes. Those were
I was just going to say, you look like a Popeyes man.
Yeah. Oh, the missus is a pop. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say try Lee's chicken. Lee's famous recipe. It's better.
Whose chicken?
Lee's famous recipe. Their biscuits are better too.
It sounds like some little like mom and pop shop. No one knows what that is, Mary.
No, I mean, it's a chain. It's just, it's not a well-known chain.
What's it called again?
Lee's famous recipe.
Interesting.
Can't say I've heard that one.
It's not as good as my chicken, but it's pretty good.
I like Raising Cane's.
Raising Cane's is from Louisiana.
I believe it. It's good.
No, it is. It's a Louisiana-based company. It's out of Baton Rouge. I used to have it years ago. And now, of course, they're everywhere. It's kind of weird to see that they're everywhere. I didn't know that they were branching out until, actually, Brian, when I went to go see you and I saw one in Phoenix, I was like,
I was going to say, they're
what
here.
The heck? I was like, what's a Raising Cane's doing here? I remember I called back home and said, there's a Raising Cane's here. This is why.
Yeah, but the Phoenix area is like a food mecca now, right?
Well, then I went to up north, the nice place, Sedona. I went to Sedona, and oh my goodness, Mary.
Yes.
Look who it is.
Oh my goodness.
Hello there.
Oh.
I may have leaked the link. May have leaked the link.
Oh.
I didn't realize for a little bit, and then I looked at my phone and I was like, "Oh yeah, there's a link."
Oh.
Well, I got to be honest. I feel a little bad because Callum had this anime stream going on,
He
and
did.
I told him 3 hours ago, or no, 3.5 hours ago, that I couldn't come on because I was setting up my new stuff. 2.5 hours later, I didn't still expect him to be watching Star Wars anime. So I feel like his feelings got hurt because we just hopped on here.
And Matt and Brian dogged the boys because they were watching my stream, and then they just went off and went, "Hey, we're doing our own."
I'm sorry. That's not what it was. This started off as just a test run because I was having problems with the mic earlier this morning, and I did my own little in between your stream and everything. I recorded an unlisted video of me testing it out. Well, it worked, but I said, you know what? It works when it's just me. Maybe it was messing up when I had other people. So I said, Brian, can you get on? And we did this. But I put it to public instead of unlisted, and I couldn't change it. I was like, well, I'm not going to get out of this. Let's just do this. So
random stream. Let's do it.
That's awesome.
Oh, I see a private link, a private message to me. Matt, I sent a link to Callum. Okay.
Yeah.
That was up there a while ago.
That was a long while ago.
I didn't expect you to see it, but I figured might as well try.
That's okay. That's okay.
And hi, Mary. First time we're talking.
Oh,
And hi, Brian.
geez.
We're on the same stream today.
Yeah.
I know.
Finally.
It's scary. What the heck happened here? Callum, I actually knew one of those anime intros. One of them.
No. So Callum was playing the anime, and there in between them was a Japanese commercial about some potato chips, but it was a guy in a dog suit catching like a stick from a real boy, and then he ran and got him chips instead, and they both jumped up in the air, and you're like, "What just happened? Wait, go back!"
Send you the link to that.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, I know exactly.
Exactly.
Did I hear you correctly?
So
I'll send you the link to that, and then you can play it for everyone. Or I can screen share it.
So now this is I've always wanted to do this. Callum, what impersonations can you do?
Mickey Mouse.
Okay, let's hear your Mickey Mouse impersonation, please.
Hey, folks, it's Mickey. We're going to take your Disney Star Wars and make it all full of all this stuff. Ruin the characters. Oh, Pluto, he's so sad about it. Oh.
He could probably get Dylan to run for his money on his Mickey impression.
I'm telling you what, Dylan does a good Mickey.
I worked out I could do a Mickey Mouse impression while I was at Universal Studios.
Oh my goodness. I actually kid with people and say that I can do a dead-on Matthew McConaughey, but see, I'm a guy from the South, so everyone can go, all right, all right, all right.
Somebody said that in chat actually earlier.
That's what I hear all the time. Say, wow, because I do board game reviews, and someone posts on there every once in a while. Wow, I didn't know Matthew McConaughey does board game reviews. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about the expanded universe. All right, it's gonna be nice. But any guy from the South can do a Matthew McConaughey. It's not that big a deal. Okay, so impressions, Ryan.
Impressions.
Can you do an impression of someone?
I
have another impression, but Brian doesn't let me do it on public streams.
Why, who is it?
No, he's not gonna let me do it. He's shaking his head. Okay, go ahead.
I'd have to think about it for a second. I don't really do just specific people.
Okay.
We could watch a commercial.
Brian, do you do one?
No, I'm in the same boat on that one. I don't think there's one I would go to on this.
Okay.
Think about that.
All right, Mary.
I do a lot of random voices as well.
Have you been stalking me or something? Did you know I can do a few impressions or?
Maybe. Let's hear.
Maybe she can do enough impressions to make up for Ryan and I because we're just drawing blanks on this.
Okay, I want to hear.
Okay, well, I can do a decent Rita Repulsa.
I love it. Go for it.
Okay. Oh, no, I'm friggin' out. Okay. After 10,000 years, I'm free. It's time to conquer Earth.
Okay, that's dead on. Really good. Did they?
That was awesome.
To record that? I mean, wow. Okay.
That was really good. I'm not even playing.
No, that was very impressive.
Mary is taking part in a huge production from someone named the Rookie Critic, where she played a character where she needed to do that. She got her hat in the background. Yeah,
I made that. Yeah,
that's the Rita hat. Okay, so all right. So what other impressions? Now, hold on before we start. Ryan, is it true you do a Jeremy impersonation?
A Jeremy impersonation? I mean, I could try. I've never really tried before.
Okay.
But, what's going on, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we are going to talk about these SJWs. They just won't let me stop winning. They keep doing this stuff. This Batwoman trailer again. It's just cringeworthy. I don't know. That's all I got.
that was pretty good.
Hey, congratulations! We got him kicked out of the Phantom Menace just like that. Okay, Mary. That's a good one, by the way. That's a good.
We got Drunk 3PO in chat right now.
Oh boy.
So the reason that song came on is I was lurking in the chat over on Nerdrotic where Drunk 3PO, I was making fun of him, and now he came over to our stream to make fun of us while he's also on stream.
That is hilarious. The man is a double tasker. He was also has a beautiful voice. Mary Mayhem got him to sing.
Yeah, he's been on a few times.
Yeah, no, he did good. He did. I didn't know he had it in him.
We're getting all the car videos in the chat right now too.
That's awesome.
I mean, I could do a video about my car. It's a 95 Hilux.
Callum, if you do riding a bike video, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see.
Get a
bike video, scooter video,
unicycle video,
Hot Wheels video. Okay. So, Mary, what is another impersonation?
I can do a decent Britney Spears.
I am so interested.
Okay. Semisomnic's Closing Time as performed by Britney Spears. How's that sound?
Okay. All right.
Okay. Closing time. Open all the doors and let you out into the world.
Brian, that sounds much better than your Britney Spears. That is really awesome.
Did she have that recorded? I mean,
so, Mary, do you do acting?
Yes.
You do?
Some things as a kid at church and community theater.
Right on. Do you still do community theater?
I have not done community theater in 7 years.
just be careful.
Oh, wow.
The next question Matt's going to ask you is if you're still interested, because I understand he's running several shows.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm actually gonna. I'll tell you one of these stories is I'm on the board and there's a show I've always wanted to do. It's called How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, and I've always wanted to do it for like years. And I got to be on the committee to pick the shows, and of course I'm picking that one. I'm the only one pushing it. Once I get the committee to agree, now I got to get the board to agree. They accepted every show but that one. I had to go back there and say, look, I want this show. I'll direct. I'll star, because I don't like directing shows. I don't want to star in any show. And I said, or I'll just help backstage. Name someone else on this board who will do that for their show. And then they're like, okay. They said, so you'll direct. I went, well, not that show. I kind of want to be in it. They said, okay, well, you'll direct another show. I was like, okay. And that's how I'm directing these shows now. And then I'm also going to audition for the lead, which I've never done. And they're very excited about that because I have turned down the lead on multiple occasions because I don't want to learn all those lines. And but I will apply for the lead, but the lead is a young man. So we'll see how that works. But
don't know if you're gonna be able to pull that one off.
I'm telling you.
You're just going, I'm young at heart.
I'm young at heart. But no, the thing is though, I just, Mary, you just have that character and you got those impersonations, and it seems like, yeah, you do that a lot. And every once in a while I'll do a commercial. People know that if they watch my channel long enough, because sometimes I'll show the commercials. Sometimes I can't because I don't have a copy. The director won't give me a copy of it. I just recently did one and I don't see it. He didn't show me the finished product, but it was for an insurance company that's moving into Arkansas, and so it's playing in Arkansas. And it's me, and I'm crossing the Arkansas state line. I'm not. It's a green screen. And I look up and I go, yes, like, I'm the insurance man coming to your state now. And while they were setting up the camera shot, they're just trying to, you know how they shoot some video just to see how it looks. So I decided, it's me. Brian knows me. I started dancing just in front of the camera. I just started, doing like a little back and forth, And when I saw the director at a wedding, actually, later on that weekend, he said, hey, so when you were dancing in front of the camera, when we were focusing, I said, yeah. He went, do you know, we use that. I went, you use what? He went, no, it's in the commercial. I said, what's in the commercial? He said, you dancing. I went, that wasn't in the script. He went, yeah, I know, but we thought it was a funny thing to do. I said, yeah, he should be dancing. He should be happy. I said, which dance move did you get me at? And it's the one where I'm showing the clipboard I have has the name of the insurance company. And it was the one of me doing, I was like, showgirling it off. So I want to see it. But it's playing in Arkansas.
So, dude, I used to say that all the time. Arkansas.
I used to say Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Say Arkansas.
Not in Kansas anymore. It's Arkansas.
Yes.
Yes. So, yeah, but anyway, yeah, Mary, I can see you in commercials.
Well, they'd have to put up with from me basically the same thing they put up with from you. Like, hey,
I'm a director. The camera loves you. No, I mean, yeah, the cast I have for this dinner theater, they're really awesome. We get along well. I thought about, because you can do live streams through your phone. I don't know how good the quality would be, but I'd like to show everyone what I do. I've done that once before when I was backstage at a show. I just turned it on and kind of walked around for a minute and told people what was going on. So maybe I'll do that again sometime. Get a look at what goes on behind the scenes. Why I'm so busy. Alex, Drunk 3PO says that Ryan keeps coming on my stream because he'd rather be on my stream than here. Wow.
Well, I just sent him a message that he doesn't talk enough on Nerdrotic stream, and he's claiming it as his own. So,
Man, oh man, man, oh man. All right. So, what was Mary? Since you did shows back in the day, what was your favorite show?
Thoroughly Modern Millie.
That's a good show. Did you get to star?
No, I'm not that talented. I did learn how to do a little tap dancing though for it.
All right, that's a fun one. Is anyone else theater inclined here?
I did something in school.
We're not talking about smoking doobies.
I was gonna say,
in the
you left that
production.
way too open for Matt. He'll take that all day long.
I was in the stage production called Beach.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you? Well, who did you play?
I was one of the, I forget what the role's called now, but one of the people watching over the beach and going, "Oi, what are you doing down here?"
Is that was your line?
That was one of the lines. That's the one I remember. It's
Is that
memorable.
what you sound like when you're mad? What do you sound like when you're mad? Or do you get mad?
I don't really get mad now.
I don't see that out of Callum. He's too much of a snack cake.
Snack cake.
Did you show her the calendar earlier? I mean,
sneak peek.
yeah, apparently.
Calendar.
Callum is starting a
messages.
Calendar. Mary, can I ask what month you were born in? What month?
August.
August. So, Callum, what would the August calendar look like? What would the August picture be?
I gotta remember which season it is in August.
Yeah, it's the opposite season from here in the States than it is in Australia. That's true.
Yeah.
It's winter
Technically
here, I think,
summertime
in August.
here.
So winter here.
It's winter there. It's summertime here.
So you guys are wearing tanks and shorts for Christmas, or do you guys have
Yes.
Christmas
Pretty
in
much.
July there?
Could I
We
make a
have a
request?
Barbie.
Am I allowed to make a request?
Oh, yes, go ahead, please.
I want him in the like fireman outfit with like just the red straps and the yellow pants. Like that's it.
Mary, no
When
one's
we
ever
get
talked to
back
Callum
home-
like this before. You'll have to apologize. He doesn't know
When
what
we
to
get
say.
back
He has those eyes that I do when I was on the rock and roller coaster right now.
Either that or she was just guessing one of the months already.
Yeah, it's like, that was supposed to be a secret.
Wait, my plan's ruined.
I told you everything I touch gets ruined. Yeah.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious.
$400 Twin Suns perk. Forget the calendar.
You know, you say that, and someone's going to donate that, and they're going to say, "Where's my
Okay, so we're gonna-
calendar?"
So we're gonna make it then the perk to beat Matt Wilkins to outdo him, and we'll make it $3,000 for the calendar.
$3,000 for the calendar.
Jeez.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have that high of an opinion of himself, I guess.
I just want to outdo Matt Wilkins with someone outbidding him.
It's not going to happen this year.
I don't know. You've been tied already.
I've been tied. I know the person. Well, the person has commented on my videos, so I know who you are. You just don't know who you are. Who tied with me? But anyway, so yeah, that's not gonna happen this time. But you know, I mean, the $3,000 calendar, that's pretty expensive. I mean, that better be an authentic fireman suit. That's all I'm saying.
I'm tempted to put that one on the fundraiser.
Hard hat and hose and all.
So how do you decide the perks? Like how do you go about deciding what you're giving away to people?
Or is that to Callum or is that to me?
No, to you. I'm just curious. Like,
Oh, okay. Well, we like I said this morning, we've done this several times. When the first billboard came out, I said, "Man, Brian, I'm glad everyone's donating this money, but I want to do something for them. So if they watch my channel, let me do a few things." And so we threw a few extra perks in there because I want to thank each and every one. I've been doing this on my podcast. Usually I just have them on the podcast and we talk about whatever they want to talk about. And of course, I thank them at the beginning and I thank them at the end. And I really mean it because I'm really happy to talk to them. because they love the expanded universe as much as I do. And so for this newer one, Brian was saying, well, do we do the podcast again? I was like, I want to do something different. This is the billboard. I want to do something, lower the tiers too, not just 100, something for 50, something for 25, just something fun. And just whatever I can do to thank them, I mean, it's not much. I know it's not much, but people who watch my channel, they may like to see some of this stuff. They may like to ask their question live. They may like to, plus I want to thank them personally. That's the other reason I kind of want them to come on. But yeah, that's kind of how it came about. And, any other content creators, if they want to do something for their folks as well, that's fine. If it's, rated PG, I don't know how the calendar would fly over. I mean, it seems pretty racy. Pretty racy.
So the calendar can be $400, and then for $3,000, you get a unlisted behind-the-scenes video of every shoot.
Jeez.
Hold on. For $3,000, you come knock on Mary's door and go, "Where's the fire?" That's what you do with your little suspenders and your yellow trousers there, Ozzy.
We get a lot of bushfires down under.
Oh!
Jeez. I think we need to leave these two alone.
I had nothing to do with this one. I was not involved.
All right.
Over here, guys.
She's done.
I got to end the stream. All right.
I didn't do it this time. It was not
Okay.
me.
It was the Aussie this time.
On that note, thank you for joining me for Nightcap. This has been something.
It's definitely been something.
The great thing about coming on Matt Wilkins' channel is it can't get demonetized.
That's true. Matt demonetized himself years ago. All right. So, yeah, thanks again. Thanks for all the listeners. Appreciate that. We got to know what an action man flick is called. We got to know what fish nibbles are. And we got to hear Callum put his first line and moves on Mary right here on the show. That's really nice there. Okay, so anyway, hey, thanks for coming on, gang. Appreciate that. And fellas, thanks. This is just a little test run. I had a lot of fun. Be sure, thank you, Brian. Be sure to check out the fundraiser. Donate whatever you can, at least $5. $1 PayPal eats all that. So at least $5 each of that little digital badge. Again, I'll just go through the rewards real quick. $10 or more gets you the digital badge, and you get to go on the Wild Knights Discord chat with all the Twin Sons people, and you get to pick what book they're going to donate. And let me tell you something. Honestly, last year I got to do one of the donation drives, and it was awesome. I actually recently went back to that school, and one of the kids remembered me. He's like, "Are you coming back with more Star Wars books?" I went, "No." And Santa isn't real either. And I just kept walking. No, I didn't say that. But I mean, he was excited. He was like, "Oh, you coming back with, it's the Star Wars guy." No, I am the Star Wars guy, but I'm here for something else. Your mother's dead. No, I didn't say that. Anyway, we're going too far here. Anyway, so, but anyway, you can get into Discord.
Matt's really letting loose.
At 21 hours without sleep now. So we can, anyway, so for $25 or more, you get all that. Plus, I'm going to do some unlisted Star Wars board game playthroughs. I chose board game because anyone who watches my channel, I also do board games. And they're like, well, you know what, Matt? I'd do $25 to see some of these playthroughs. And so that's why that was another reason I kind of put that in there. So my listeners the board game listeners may throw $25. And
so long as it's not my copy of Queen's Gambit, you're good.
That's to be determined. But there is going to be perhaps a Twin Sons member playing with me. There you go. There's a little teaser there. And I think I have 5 Star Wars games. So I'm going to try to play all 5. And I'm just going to pick different people, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm going to keep the conversation upbeat and without fish nibbles. So for $50 or more, I would love you to come on to the live Q&A, ask your question live, and I can answer it. I did say I limit it to 5 minutes, but that's because most questions can be answered in that time. But I also want to thank you and get as many people as I can through it. I know it's not much, but hey, it's something, because you're giving the money to the billboard. That's what you're doing. So if you want this, you can come ask a question. Also, the last one, I'm trying to think here, like 21 hours of sleep, $100 puts you on a more civilized age. I will boot Ryan Kennel, RK Outpost, out. He'll lose his spot, and you can come in. Or if you want to see Ryan on there, maybe I'll keep Ryan on there, and I'll boot someone else off.
What's the link
But
again to donate?
so what?
What's the link again to donate?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The twin sons. Oh, she wants to kick off Ryan. Aw. Well, when Mary comes, Ryan's automatically off. But what, she wants to talk to you? What? Yeah. He says that as he flexes a little bit. I saw that. Anyway, so that lets you come onto the show and talk and everything. It's kind of what we do, or what we were doing with the podcast. But since the podcast is on iTunes and not on YouTube, I decided to go ahead and just, do something YouTube centric here. And then if it's more than that, I said I didn't know. I know Brian and I threw some ideas around, and but we'll see. So far, there's only one person.
There are other perks that we're considering still too as stretch goals. And I'm always asking content creators if they want to throw something in there. We can always try to promote that on the website too. It's really a community effort.
Relic says, "Let's boot Matt off." That is the best one to boot off, because if you notice, and I said this after the last More Civilized Age, I said, or maybe I said online, I can't remember, but I just said, man, it's so great that everyone here is more well spoken than me.
More well spoken.
I mean,
that's a thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ryan, Chris, and even Matthew, they really do bring a lot.
With those three, though, like that's a really high bar.
They bring a lot to the conversation. I'm here going, there's nothing I can add, but just go, yep, yep. And I was like, man, I think I was telling Chris, I said, I picked that's perfect. It's the perfect three, because they know, and I like the different perspectives too. It's really nice. We're going to bring in future questions, maybe a little bit more, I want to see if I can get some. I mean, Matthew already brings the controversy when he talks about new canon on my show, but I mean, that's fine though. That's what he's there for. So
Chris is up still. He had a comment in chat. You don't need to read it, you don't need to read it out loud, but I thought it was funny if you go back and find it just a little bit.
Chris was here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well.
Oh no, Chris. I want to offer a perk for anyone who donates more than a penny. Okay.
You don't need to read it. Yeah, you don't need to read it.
Dadgummit.
Yep.
But, Chris is trying to cause trouble.
No calendar, none of that.
The calendar, yeah. I need to. Now I'm thinking that I need to take some money off the top of that calendar. I think I trademarked it.
Okay, Relic asked a question that a lot of people have been asking. I need to answer this. I keep forgetting every time. What about Rich? What about Joe? If you don't know, I keep up with Rich Hanley and Joe Bongiorno, who are two excellent guys who did a bunch of editing. They also wrote some stuff within the expanded universe. They are EU authors. They did some short stories. They did some Adventure Journal shorts. They did some StarWars.com stuff. They did the magazine Star Wars Insider stuff. And yes, I do talk to them. The only thing is, these guys are older than me, so they don't even have Skype or anything. Now, they're fine with me calling them up and putting it to the phone, but I don't know. I mean, to put the phone to the mic, but I don't know how that would sound. And but to be honest, Relic, and I think I may have told Relic this, but everyone else, man, those two guys are just incredible people to talk to, because their brain, it's funny, because anyone who wrote for the expanded universe, they are wired to make connections. They are wired to make connections. I also talked to Ryder Wenham. That's not a secret. I think I've said that before. And Ryder is constantly making these connections, pulling things from here and there. And it's amazing how their brains work and how they know. I mean, they just have this knowledge. And that's why they were good at their job. That's why they're good at their job. And I'm sure a lot of people who wrote for the expanded universe were like that as well. But just the people that I've spoken with over the past few years, it's just amazing how, like, Joe really wants to connect new canon, old canon. And I hate him, but he made some decent arguments there. There's the Marvel comic storyline. I think we talked about this, and then other space from RPG. Mary's like, oh wow, this is really nerd talk. Oh man, where's my?
No, look, it doesn't get any geekier than me.
Oh no, that was pretty geeky. I saw you. Your mind was wondering to, boy, I wish there was a fire around here.
No, I was just thinking that would be really good. It's like some tartar sauce.
For folks, if we get funded, we will personally send Callum Johns to her house to deliver tartar sauce.
That's got to be a stretch goal, I think. Got to pay for the plane ticket.
I'll put that one in front of the other board members for you, Callum.
Yeah. But anyway, Relic, I really do need to. Joe is busy. If you don't know, Joe's working on his unpublished. He was supposed to be working on a story for StarWars.com. Oh gosh, I'm going to butcher it. Cultural Encounters. What is it, Brian? Supernatural Encounters.
Yeah,
yes.
Supernatural.
And it was something that he did. He was tying in all the weird and exotic stories from Star Wars and kind of making sense of it all. And that's what Joe does best. Well, he has really elaborated and worked hard on this book. I talked to him last week about it, and he is really working hard on this book. And it's even bigger and has more pages and more stuff than the one I have. I got a copy to read through and give my thoughts on it. And but now he's supposedly even added more to it. And I haven't spoken to Rich lately. To let you know something about Rich, though, he's a huge Star Trek fan, and he has been dying to get me to watch Star Trek Discover. What is it? I watched the first season. It was awful. Yeah, and I tried to watch the second season, and it was like someone kept punching me in the face. I was like, I can't. And I watched 4 episodes of season 2. I was like, I can't do this anymore, Rich. I can't. And I told him that I would try out Patrick Stewart's Picard. I would try out the Picard series to see if it's any better. But from what I heard from the last producer interview, I'm not really too excited about that either. But I'll give it a shot. But I would like to have both of them on. Yes.
Idea. For getting Joe and Rich on, they just need to come over to your place, and you can just line up the camera so you both.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Actually, true story. When I first called, either one, Joe or Rich. When I first called Joe,
was it like 4 hours?
Oh, it was like 4, 5 hours, 6 hours. I had to switch phone. But the thing was, it just went by like that because we were just talking back and forth about EU this, EU that, and pitching back ideas. And it was he's just so full of energy, and the man is so knowledgeable. I was like, Joe, why aren't you doing this on YouTube? He went, no, that's what you do. I said, no, you're doing it much better than me. He's really good, but he has a job, so he stays pretty busy. And then Rich, on the other hand, I was really nervous to talk to him because he was the editor for the Sequart books that I helped out with. And when I first called him, his wife picked up the phone. She said, yes, he's here. May I ask who's calling? I said, this is Matt. She went, Matt Wilkins. I said, Matt Wilkins. She said, okay, who are you? I went, oh, I worked with him on the Sequart book, the Sequart Star Wars book. And she goes, okay, hold on one moment. And she goes, Rich, it's Matt from Sequart. And I went, no, I don't work for Sequart. He said, Matt from Sequart. I don't know. She's like, that's what he said. And I was like, no, I didn't say that. I was like, hi, I'm Matt Wilkins. I was telling her I worked with you on the book. He went, oh, hey, Matt. And then we talked for 5 hours. It was great. And they're on East Coast time. I was like, I can't believe they were talking even later to me. But it was fun. It was a fun conversation. We had a lot of good times. And, of course, whenever I come across one of their short stories or writers or anyone, I'll talk to them, and they'll give me that good feedback. Like, for anyone who saw the channel, Ryder Wenham gave me some awesome feedback for the Applejacks comic book and the comic strip. And oh man, he's just a fun guy to talk to. But when I got that alternate comic, Applejacks comic strip that didn't get published, I was like, ooh, unpublished EU, and really, it was really, I had to laugh at myself because it was really nerdy. But anyway, so thank you everyone for tuning in to this impromptu podcast. I appreciate it. Or live stream, I guess. Thank you to all my guests. Thank you, Brian, for letting me bother you. Thank you, Callum, because I didn't even invite you. Ryan, thanks for inviting Callum, even though I didn't ask you to. No problem.
I just came in and stirred everything up.
And thank you, Mary, for coming on.
It was my pleasure to destroy your stream. They do call me Mary Mayhem.
Do you know how to make the stream even better, folks? Hey. Hey, how's that? Huh? I'm kidding, guys. Here you come, bringing you back in. All right. Anyway, all right.
I thought it was just Brian, so I was laughing. Then he took me out too.
The little thing with a hand just goes through the screen.
All
I was
right.
gonna say you did that on purpose, didn't you? Now they're
I'm
next to each
telling
other.
you. I'm telling you.
They didn't need a cold shower before. Now they really do.
All right. All right, folks. Thanks, folks. Have a good night, and we will see you later.